Welcome back to the Comics Cube, everyone. I am rejoined by Bruno Redondo, and we're talking about Nightwing. How are you?
Good pronunciation of my name. Uh, the first time I hear someone talking in English who speaks properly the Bruno Redondo.
It's because I'm a
So
Filipino.
thank you.
So
Yeah. I guess it's because of that.
well, there's a pretty legendary Filipino comics artist named Nestor Redondo.
Yeah, you told me.
So yeah, so just pronounce it the same way.
Yes.
Nightwing was awesome. So you finished your first arc, bouncing back, leaping into the light, bouncing back into the light. Sorry, bouncing back is a thing that we use at work. So leaping into the light,
Mhm.
and what was it like working with Tom Taylor on this one?
Well, it's been a bit exhausting because we was trying to do something new about the style, the storytelling. So we have to talk a lot about some decisions or choices. But Tom is a friend. We are almost family. So it's been great, and we still love working with each other. We both are really proud of what we are doing with Nightwing. We had an idea, and it's working. It's
Is yeah.
to do something true to the character.
And it's so visually appealing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flash my screen, and I'm gonna show some images from your run, and maybe we can talk about what went into those images.
Yep.
Right. So we're starting with the cover of the first issue that you drew. So this is Nightwing, and within his little emblem is the city of Bloodhaven. So can you talk about the design work that went into this cover?
My point of the first cover was to be easy, to do something easy to catch in the eye. I mean, something iconic because I wanted to send a message, and the message was less is more, and Dick Grayson doesn't need too much extra work around to be cool. So it's him, the city. The city is the symbol in the chest. So it was just that. I wanted to start simple.
You also introduced a very simple new logo here.
Yeah, but not just me. It was work mostly made by Darren Robinson,
Mhm.
who is the graphic designer in most of DC comic books right now. He's really good. So he had some first ideas, but I talked with Jessica, with the editor, about the kind of box text box I was looking for, because if the text has a rectangular shape, it can fit in different positions
Yeah.
in the cover. If the logo has complicated shapes, it doesn't fit everywhere in the same way. So I wanted something like in a magazine, something that we could move. And in the final, not this one, in the final logo, we even had the Nightwing symbol inside the letters. So it's something really iconic, really Nightwing.
Do you get any resistance when you put the logo not on top of the cover?
I thought I was gonna have some resistance, but because in the past I had to fight a lot to move the logo. But but Jessica is a really open-minded editor. She's ready to try different new things. So in some of the covers, I moved the logo in different positions. And you will see in next covers.
Yeah. Jessica seems pretty cool. I follow her on Twitter. She just seems like a pretty cool person.
Jessica is great.
Yeah.
Jessica is encouraging us to make some of the new different ideas we're trying.
Here is the double page spread in the first issue. This is amazing. Like you guys put this out months before, and it made me really excited for the book. I believe as of the moment we're speaking, this is Tom's cover photo on Twitter.
What? Sorry.
I believe as of this moment, this is Tom Taylor's cover photo on Twitter.
Yeah. It's his header,
Yeah.
header or whatever. Yeah.
What was the inspiration for this one, and how long did it take you to do it?
I'm not sure, like 2 or 3 days. I'm not sure, but the point was this. It was important for our first issue. Our first issue wasn't number one. It was 78.
78, yeah.
Yes. The thing is that if your first issue is a 78, you need to put some extra effort to convince the readers about we are doing something new. We need to do a big title page. We need to send a clear, powerful message. And I think I learned to love some of these kind of double spread along Tom King Batman. They sometimes did with Mick Gerard's some double spread pages to tell barely nothing, but this kind of moment makes you stop and think and breathe. Comic books aren't only things happening all the time. It's a visual media. So I think sometimes you need to just stop and enjoy the beauty. And Adriano Lucas, the colorist I'm working with, is so awesome doing skies, doing sunshines, doing that kind of moments. So I knew that working with him in this double spread, it was gonna become something special for the reader.
So how do you guys communicate, with you and Adriana? Like, when you say something like the sun, did you put in a little outline of the sun and then it's up to him to?
We used to talk and we used to interchange photo references, but mostly I trust Adriano with all my soul. So I usually put a note like beautiful Adriano sky, something like this, and usually that's enough because he gets me. He knows what we need every time.
I was talking to an artist who's been in the business for a long time as well. And he was talking about how hard it was to draw buildings, or how much he preferred not drawing buildings. Do you like drawing buildings?
I start enjoying it now. I wasn't drawing too much buildings before Nightwing, because I was in Suicide Squad. I was in Justice League. I was in Titans. I was in a lot of series that didn't demand real stages. That series was more like science fiction, more fantasy. So I was a little bit scary about Nightwing, because If you don't have a team to fill every corner of the panels, like I had in Suicide Squad, the city is a character. The city is really important, and you can't do every city in the same way. You can do every city like New York or like Gotham or like whatever. The thing is that it's important that you start recognizing Bloodhaven with its own feeling. It has to be something different. And Adriano Lucas is highly important in this because I think that Bloodhaven start meaning like pink neon. It's like the night light, the
Yeah.
sunsets. I think we are fitting. We are finding the right look for Bloodhaven.
It's also the right look for Nightwing. So with that,
I hope so.
so this is Dick and Barbara reading Alfred's letter. And this was such a popular panel that you put this very specific image up on your Twitter so that it didn't have the words. This is a very interesting shot to me because the colors are very striking, but also that Dick is all the way on the side here. And I know it's to make way for the letters, for the words, but what was it like drawing this panel?
Sometimes the better compositions needs a lot of space to breathe, and the empty space here is the city, which is also telling you something. That's all. That was my point here. I was looking to start the first issue with a big city landscape, and I was looking to finish the issue with a similar landscape because you can recognize the same buildings in the background.
Yeah.
But now we are watching the buildings from inside the city. We started from like at some distance, but now we are in a regular neighborhood. So it's like you are in Bloodhaven now. You live here now. So it was important to show a little bit that regular low area kind of place where Dick is living. Dick is not living in the middle of the city around the buildings, the high buildings. He needs to live near the regular people.
And it's also like a really Dick Grayson type of character behavior that he's just sitting on the fire escape with his with his legs hanging out there. And of course,
a strong influence in this stage of Nightwing is the Daredevil stage with John Romita Jr. and Nosetti.
Oh,
in the 80s. I loved the work they did, and they did a really good portrait of New York, of Hell's Kitchen, and I loved the way they used the firescapes. So yes, it's coming from some of my references for this.
Cool. That's an underrated run, and of course, this has this has Bitewing right here as well as Barbara. His two of his solid supporting cast members. We get to the variant cover of number 79 because this one you put this up and this went viral. So
yeah, you know when I have these ideas and I send the editor these sketches, I'm thinking I'm not sure if it's gonna work, but I like the idea. So for me, it's really exciting when everyone reacts so massively about these ideas, because in the first stage, it's just me thinking, hey, why don't I do this? But in my head, it's not so successful as it becomes.
And it's very clear that you're having fun and that you're allowed to have fun on this book. I think that's it comes off the page here. But
That's true. I'm enjoying a lot.
aside from that, so this is very clearly a take on Batman 1966, Adam West and Burt Ward climbing up the building with the joke
Mhm.
that somebody's coming out of the window. I think it's really funny that it's Barbara, but also this is the evolution of Dick Grayson's costumes. But what really makes it, Bruno, is Alfred holding up his cape right here.
Yeah, the magic is that I did not draw Alfred, but
Yes,
your mind, what is Alfred Pennyworth out of the frame? But it's magic because you are doing the job.
it's
So
true.
it's awesome how the people is making their part in this cover.
I know that literally could be anybody's hands, but we all know it's Alfred. It's amazing.
Yes, yes.
And there is that new logo that you were discussing that does have Nightwings.
You see what I told you?
Yeah.
If the logo if the logo had complicated shaping, it never will fit so well as this logo is fitting in this cover.
Hmm.
Is I love to in I finished a new cover yesterday, and I draw handly the logo as part of the image, and I love to draw this logo. I love to use this as part of the art.
And then, yeah, and it gives you the space here to have what is actually a very narrow image, right?
Yes. Hmm. Yeah, Darren was really happy because he says that none of his logo were ever print so big in a cover
Mm,
like in this one. So he was really happy about this.
very cool. And we get to hear, so again, so this is the evolution of Dick's costumes, but this is an amazing set of panels because it's really just one big picture, but you split it up because it's also not one big picture at the same time. That's the magic of comics. But also as he comes out, he's literally leaping out of the set of panels. How do you come up with this? Because I feel like there's a million ways to try this idea and it won't work.
I wanted to. The thing is that the next two pages are also double spread with some flashbacks from different moments from the past of the Grayson. And I was looking a way to connect this page and the next two pages. I wanted something to make them the three pages to tell the same in some way. So I found this idea about a lot of little panels. It's a little tricky because those aren't really little panels, but it's like any of the moments is split in different panels, like saying it's not just a moment, or maybe I'm overthinking, but it's the kind of things I'm trying in this stage.
But that allows you to do something like this. So if this weren't little panels, this wouldn't work. This Dick falling here, and then you have these jagged these jagged borders right here. I'm sorry, can you see my mouse on the screen?
Yes, I can see
Okay,
it. I can
yeah.
see it.
So I feel like that's
Ye-
important that those are little panels.
Yeah, it's in this way I could mix in weird ways some of the transition between the panels, and I could also bring some figures to the foreground over the panels to
Mhm.
make some kind of deepness feeling.
And then anyone who comes out of the panels like this, it really gives it a sense of depth. Speaking of which, before we move on, yours aside, which of these Nightwing costumes is your favorite? So let's go back here.
Mm, I like the finger strips.
So this one.
So yeah, the
Yeah.
19, the most iconic one.
Mhm.
I find really funny the neck, the high neck from the first one. You know that things. I
Yeah.
find it really funny, but I try to make it work today and I can't. So there will be a new suit uh, coming soon.
Really
But yes,
interesting.
but I don't want to hype too much because I mostly used some of the best things of the previous suits that I love. So it's not exactly a new suit, but you will see.
Okay, that's exciting. I feel like I haven't seen that mentioned somewhere.
Well,
Um,
everybody wants a new suit, and me too. So it had to happen.
just to point out, you said you tried making this work and you couldn't. To
No,
everybody
no, no, no.
watching this who isn't aware, the original collar is much higher than this.
No. There's no. There's things that I'm not brave enough to try.
It was the early 80s. It was that was
Yes,
normal at the time.
it was to a disco age.
This reminds me actually of a page that you did in Truth and Justice, Wonder Woman, or is it Sensational Wonder Woman?
Hmm.
You did that thing with similar small panels where she's fighting Artemis. You seemed like you really want to experiment with a comics form. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I already know how to do a safe storytelling, and I think I can take some risks. Maybe maybe it can works or it can fail, but I think I want to play with this because I love when I read a comic book that um, challenge me to read in different ways, or when they find new ways, interesting ways to do new things. So right now I think that Nightwing is the right place to play or try new ideas.
How important is an editor like Jessica to letting you try new things?
And is absolutely important, because if she trusts me, she follows some of these ideas. But if she didn't trust me, I can do nothing but doing the same that everybody does.
What
So no, I owe a lot to Jessica, the way she allows me to try some of these things.
So when you have a
With the
complicated layout like this, do you send it to Jessica first before you actually draw the whole thing? Do you send her the layout and be like, can I do it?
always,
Okay.
yes, no, to Jessica and to Tom, because I need Tom to check that what he's looking to tell is on the page. That's highly important. And if I have some new idea, I need to explain to him before do the final art.
And how detailed are Tom's scripts? Does he give you specific directions, or does he leave this stuff up to you?
No, highly detailed. But sometimes when we are doing action, as he knows that I like to try things in the fights scenes, so sometimes he just says, do whatever you want and put your ideas. But most of the time, his scripts are really detailed.
Okay. And when will we see you draw the Teen Titans more? No, I'm kidding. Let's go on.
Well, I don't know.
This is another one.
Hey, that's not mine.
Oh, it's not yours?
No,
Okay, let's skip it.
No, this is Jamal Campbell. But anyway, it's a really beautiful variant cover.
Yeah.
We are lucky about that too, because you can see it's not only the beautiful image, it's the way he made some Easter eggs with the superhero symbols in the
Yeah.
clothes hanging on. So it's really good. I love this cover.
I
And the
apologize.
colors
I
and
should
the
have.
colors
Yeah.
are really close, really in the same language than what Adriano and me are doing.
I apologize. I thought it was you because it was like the design sense reminded me of you. And
Yeah,
yeah.
but it is because this Jamal is doing a great job because he gets the spirit of the comic.
Mhm.
Sometimes the variant cover artist doesn't mind too much about what the people is doing in the comic, but Jamal is doing really great covers.
Let's talk about this one. I love when you guys do this. I love when you guys do cutaways and then you just show the figure moving around. But the beautiful thing here is they're talking, and then this is actually them going down the stairs and into the elevator and up again. Am I reading this right? And then into here, into
Yes,
the room. That's amazing. That's an
thank you.
amazing piece of comics work right there.
I like to put some clear architecture when I can because when I was a kid and I was reading comics from Marvel and DC, I loved when they made um, those extra pages with the Titans headquarters, for example, and you saw that section shot
Mhm.
with the details about where do they live, where are the rooms, where are the everything. So we don't have extra pages to put maps on, but I wanted to use some of the pages to show how is the building and how Dick is living. Because I
Yeah.
think when you talk about the surrounding and the home, you are describing the character.
And he clearly he lives as a mess.
By now, the, my point is that Dick Grayson just went back to
Yeah.
this house and he's working hard by himself, reforming it. He's trying to build something new. It's a metaphor about
Yeah.
we are starting a new stage in the series, and we are trying to rebuild something new over exactly what there was in the Great Song history.
I love, so yeah, like you said, he goes in here. It's clear to us now that he's gone up a few floors, maybe exactly 3 floors. And I love his new domino mask, because I think like, as much as cool as they look, I think a lot of people always ask, why would you even wear that mask? because it doesn't really hide anything. But this one actually has technology that Barbara built into it that lets her
Yeah,
guide him. Yeah.
it's a bit sci-fi kind of technology. Dick Grayson looks like he's naked with his suit. So I think nanotechnology helps a lot to put some gadgets, some technology that he can use. Not too much because he's not Iron Man, but he needs to have at least some little things.
And he's not Batman either, so he doesn't have all those
No.
gadgets.
Mhm.
Uh, what about designing Heartless? Can you just tell me about Heartless?
This one is a little tricky because he is. We are still shaping him, but when I found the basic idea, it was a friend of me who reminded me the that character from the Excalibur movie,
Okay.
the son of of the witch. I don't remember the name, but
Mordred.
Morgana. Yes,
Yeah,
the son of Morgana Le Fay. He had a classic golden mask with hair and the half the bottom half of the face allowed to see his green, his mouth. So I started with that, and as we are doing a lot of classic design in Nightwing, I'm not going too futuristic looking. So Heartless has a point like a little noir with Phantom of the Opera. With he has a little bit of some things, but he will be more.
building him up to
Yes.
what a great
No, no.
name too, because his whole thing is that he shoots people's hearts out. So what a great
Yeah,
name.
it's a strike kind of name. But the point is that we are trying to build something really opposite to Dick Grayson, and Dick Grayson is the guy with the biggest heart in this universe.
Mm,
So it's we're trying to build a nemesis.
it's true. And I think well, I'll get to Dick Grayson having the biggest heart later. Then there's this one.
This is my homage, my homage to every alternative rock album from the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The same.
because there was an aesthetic then with black and white, some strikes of colors, people doing regular things in urban stages. I this is another cover. I was thinking, I'm not sure if it's gonna work, if people will understand what I'm trying to tell, but people loved it for my surprise again. So I'm really happy about that.
You know what strikes me about it though is I feel like a lot of artists and a lot of colorists, if they were going to spotlight any color on Tim's costume, it wouldn't be yellow, it would be red.
Hmm.
But
Yes, but the logo.
the
Also,
logo is
I
yellow.
think that I think yellow is the Robin's color. Really, in
Really?
Batfamily, is yes, I think so. I think it's the constant, and it's the weird color because uh, Robin has the brightest color in the Batfamily, and when Robin appears for the first time besides Batman, I think that what calls your attention the most is the bright colors.
Yes.
I think it's like okay to red color to uh, dark green, but yellow. You are a night vigilante dressed in yellow cape. So I think it's the yellow. For me, it's the yellow.
Do you feel the same way about Damien? Because Damien's yellow isn't as highlighted.
Well, it depends. When he
Yeah.
was Robin, maybe, but I think that Damian will be the next Robin, finding something by his own, the only one who made that successfully. Well, no, not the only one, because there is Dick Grayson and there is Jason Todd. But yes, I think that the corporative color of the Robins is mostly yellow.
Speaking of Tim Drake, I'd like to get your thoughts on the recent development featuring Tim Drake, because at the same time, this isn't you. This is a variant cover.
Yes,
Yeah, so this is also a variant cover to the same
this
issue
is
that Tim Drake happens to
yes.
be in. And
This was
recently,
Travis Moore, which I also love.
yeah, and recently Tim Drake has been confirmed to be bisexual. How do you think about that particular development?
I think that's awesome because it doesn't change mostly the character. He's the same, exactly same character. It doesn't change the past heterosexual, the past straight relations he had. It just opens new possibilities for him. So I think it's like really natural change, which changes mostly nothing. So it just does most representation in comics, which is also important. So
Yeah,
I think I always loved Tim Drake because he was the Robin I grew with, and I love him even more right now because he's doing something important, showing his face for many people. So I think it's perfect. It's perfect. It's a great idea.
yeah, I feel like whenever those kinds of things happen, like a lot of people will complain that they changed someone. And I'm like, but it always happens to a character where I think, well, that makes sense. Like Alan Scott,
Yes,
like, yeah, okay, Alan Scott
yes,
makes sense.
yes,
Um,
yes. No, I don't see. I see Tim Drake exactly in the same way. So I think it's like that makes sense. That just fits in his character, so it's perfect.
and I remember like in the late 90s or the early 2000s, like I would meet some gay people and they would find out I was into comics and they'd be like, "Are you a fan of Tim Drake?" And it always it I never understood why they were such a big fan of Tim Drake, but I think that I like it was obvious then that the LGBT community had really liked Tim Drake. So I'm like, okay, it makes sense to me.
There's a I hear a lot of people also calling for Dick Grayson to be bisexual, and I will also have nothing against that kind of development. Right now, he's well, something is happening or not happening, or we will see. But um, that doesn't depend on me anyway.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have anything against that either.
We'll get to Dick Grayson's love life a little bit later. But let's talk about this fight scene, which is awesome. Again, you keep doing these things that make me think, that make me think if there's a million ways this couldn't work, but then you make it work.
I love to make the reader change the right direction of reading. I like I love to trick the mind. We're like in the middle of the page where you are reading from the right side, no, from the right side to the left. So, well, this is not especially complex anyway, but yes, I like to do this kind of games.
How much? So it goes from here, and then this is quite brilliant. You cut the panel this way, and then you move here. How much of it tricking the reader and guiding the reader is the lettering, and how much of it is the space you put in between these two rows of panels?
Well, I always trust about the lettering helping me to do the flow. Anyway, I try to establish a reading course, a reading path, but the lettering always helps me. So I always has to thank Wes Abbott for helping me with these things.
Very cool. So this is a really cool fight sequence that ends with
And
this
I
person.
love the last sound effects in the last panel. That was entirely Wes, and I love it. I love that.
Do you just leave that panel blank?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay. And let's talk about Melinda Zuko. So the big plot twist, spoilers everyone. So the big plot twist of the series is that Melinda Zuko, who's the daughter of Tony Zuko, who killed the Graysons, is actually the daughter of John Grayson, who is Dick Grayson's father, which makes them half siblings. What are you going for with Melinda? Because I feel like you're going for a mix of she could be nice, she could be evil, we don't know.
And I will never talk. No, Melinda is a secret who is developing in each chapter, and let's see how it goes.
Okay, so I figured we weren't gonna hear much from you regarding Melinda, but what do you want to talk about Bitewing, who is adorable in this cover?
She's great, and I was this is pretty I was mad to put her in a cover. So because it's mostly the reason I made this composition, like in a pulp classic novel. So I made a shot with a composition with different moments just to put the dog in the cover.
That's awesome. And also, very importantly, Barbara Gordon here is very explicitly playing Oracle, she's helping Dick from backstage, and her Oracle symbol is right there. Will we see her as Batgirl? So
we will see her as Batgirl soon in Fear State event.
okay.
And let's see what happens before that. But she's not stopping being Oracle anyway. But right now it's important for her to help in the way she can as Batgirl too.
Great. And then there's this cover, which again, you posted this cover and it made the rounds. You know, this is the 83rd issue, which is the finale of your first arc. So this made the rounds on the internet. Everybody loved it. How insane are you?
A lot. A lot. I'm trying to challenge myself to do something new in each cover. But I'm also allowing me to do some most traditional cover from time to time. But I love this. recently I learned this is called the Luca effect, I think, because of an Italian artist
Oh, really? Okay.
who, yeah. I read that recently, and the thing is that I love to tell a story in a fixed stage like here, and doing a cover just for a guy changing his clothes and making people love it is weird and funny. It's just a guy changing his clothes. It's nothing so intense, but the people likes it, and I love that they like it.
It is Dick Grayson. A lot of people would like to see him changing his clothes.
Ah, yes, I
So,
think that is the reason. But but I keep his pants on anyway.
I feel like one of the things that really makes this is this. It's the fact that he's clearly swinging in. So you even do some perspective work here uh, to make sure that everybody knows that he's coming from outside. I feel like whenever I see something experimental like this, they're all on the same plane, you know, like, but you
Mhm.
have it so that he's coming from outside. Very cool.
Yes, I must tell that was Jessica idea.
Really.
In the first sketch, I did not put the guy on the first in the foreground, but she came with the idea, why don't you do this figure bigger for, and it's a great idea, and as you say, this makes the difference here.
And why does he throw his boots out?
And that's a good question. I'm really uh, mm, I'm obsessed with this point because I will never do that, and I think Dick wouldn't do that either. But it's more visual that than if I was drawing him uh, carefully putting the boots in the floor. So it's just because of the energy. It's
Yeah.
just because of that.
But I think what everybody's favorite thing about this cover is that he forgets his mask in the
Yes.
second to last image, and it's right
Yeah.
there in his pocket.
Yeah. He could have screwed that a lot. Talking to all that people with the mask on. Yeah, that's funny.
It's brilliant. Okay. So getting to this last issue, you know, after right before Dick says that he's going to start a foundation in Alfred's name for Bloodhaven, he and Barbara in 6 issues finally kiss. I know that this is your preferred Dick Grayson ship, and I know that you love Dick and Barbara. What was it like to finally get the two of them to kiss?
It's like, okay, it was about time. So it's funny. And anyway, by now, they only had a kiss.
Mhm.
We have to see what it means. So it's almost a cliffhanger.
Also, I do love, you mentioned this the last time we spoke. I do love how you draw Barbara with freckles. I feel like it adds a lot to her character.
Thank you. I like the freckles, and she is mm, uh, Commissioner Gordon's daughter, who is clearly an Irish descendant. So freckles makes all the sense,
Absolutely.
and it's a little bit representation too, because there's not much people with freckles in comics.
No, there's Archie, and that's it.
Yes.
Um, and speaking of having the biggest heart, I love whenever Dick Grayson and Superman start talking because it's always, I feel like it's this kind of uncle nephew type relationship, the kind, you know, you would go to your uncle if your dad's not going to listen to you. And that really works for me whenever it's done well, and this is done really well. But Superman is the last person he speaks to. He
That
speaks to a lot of his friends, the Titans.
mhm.
Dick Grayson is known and loved all around the DC universe. So biggest heart.
Yeah, that is a good analogy. Because there's things that you could talk with your uncle that you wouldn't talk with your father. It's a different angle, and everybody knows how Bruce Wayne is. And Bruce Wayne is not a positive believer kind of person because he has all that darkness around, so that made a lot of sense to me too. It's like, and Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent are like family. So all of these characters are really close to each other.
And also in this very scene, Clark tells Dick to watch over Jonathan when he's gone. So will we see Jonathan? And both series are written by Tom. So can we look forward to a crossover in the near future?
Um, Stay tuned.
Okay. And I think my next one is the last image. Oh wait, no. Can we talk about Fear State? You're not drawing this, are you?
No, because we are working in, well, in one hand, we used all the remaining time we had in advance. We didn't start too early to
Mm-hmm.
draw Nightwing, so we when chapter 82 was out, we didn't finish 83 yet.
Oh, okay.
So we was really rushed in that time. So I needed to rest a little bit, and then I needed to start working in with some time in advance. Anyway, we are doing something really weird for our first next issue, which is demanding a lot of time. So we needed a strong reinforcement for the event. So we talked that it made sense that another artist, Robbie Rodriguez,
Yeah.
to make the whole event, because in this way you can feel his own arc as something complete, solid, and self-reference, instead of having two different artists in that arc. So I'm really happy to have Robbie Rodriguez because he's really inspirational. He
Yeah.
was in when I in Spider when,
He's quite better
which
gun, yeah.
was, yes, it was a big inspiration for the Into the Spider-Verse movie,
Yeah.
which is also a big inspiration for me in Nightwing. So it's like everything comes together. So it's great to have Robbie doing his own arc, and I can't wait to read it. So when it's finished and we go back to Blue Haven, I will be there and we will be doing something really weird. You have to see that.
I can't wait. So you can't talk about that yet, right?
No, we can't, but it will be something special.
So this cover is a series of three connected covers.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to ask, is this a tribute to Akira?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was looking for advice for this cover and this part, talking with my friends Jorge Jimenez and Dani Sempere, and they both told me, "Hey, if you are doing something with the bike, you have to look for the better." for the best. So of course, it's a tribute to Akira, to Otomo.
What was it like drawing the whole Bat family except for Damien? Damien's not here.
It was great. A little hard for my little iPad to work in all this big piece, but it was funny. Another looking for another complication with this idea about Nightwing moving along the same space while changing his partners in each cover.
Yeah. You're always looking to challenge yourself, and I find that very admirable. Speaking of challenging, you drew an image. My last image is you drawing something that challenged a lot of the internet. I wonder if you can guess what it is.
Nope. Ah, I can do that. It's not that hard.
I know, me
So,
too.
well, this is one of those things that separates the regular Homo sapiens to the Homo superior. So it's something like that.
Were you
But
surprised that there was so much reaction to it? Because a lot of people were like, I can't do that. I can't do that.
yes, I thought I did that just because it was funny. I was trying to troll a little bit the readers, but I was surprised that so many people was paying attention to this little thing. So I think I have to do that again.
I thought I read it as okay, so Barbara is teasing Dick and Dick is just being playful. So he's like 4.
No, I think he has these skills. In fact, this helped me to find a way to manage the new sticks. The thing that the new sticks has this the screamer. I mean,
Yeah.
if it's throwing the wire from the middle of the stick and he's taking the stick from the middle, it can't go out. You know what I mean? So
he has to
if
balance it with his
you
finger.
exactly, the point is that he needs to open part of the hand in the same time that he holds the stick, but he needs to open part of the fingers, you know? So I thought that Dick Grayson needs to have some kind of skills to manage all these complicated gadgets, these little things. So it helped me to show that he needs to have that capability or something.
That's great. That's a great way
Or maybe
to.
or maybe I'm still just trolling the people.
That's great. That's a great way to put it together. You tied it back to his fighting ability.
Yeah.
That was my last image. As we close off, what would you like to say to to your team, your creative team, or the readers about this first arc of Nightwing and what comes next?
We received a lot of love from the readers along this arc, and I'm overwhelmed about the reactions, about how everybody found that the whole story made sense. Even some reviews that wasn't happy in the beginning are happy with the end of the arc. So it's been hard because we worked a lot more than ever, but it pays. because all this feedback with the people really gives us a lot of strength. It made us feeling to feel that it deserves all the effort. So I'm really happy about this, and I'm highly motivated to keep doing something special on Nightwing.
Awesome. We're looking forward to it. It was such a great first arc. Thank you, Bruno.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming
Thanks
back too.
for having me.
Absolutely, you're
Well,
great.
let's talk when we have another arc or something.
Absolutely. I'll message you.